All right, guys, grab bag question number 2. I'm hoping you've already read this word problem so we can get right into it. We have a rectangular area that's 3,200 square feet. So here's my rectangle with the area of 3,200. I'm putting fencing around it. Two opposite sides are going to cost $2 each for the fencing. So I'm just picking any two sides, and then the other two sides are going to cost $1 each for the fencing. Okay? So now, I don't know what the sides are, so I'm just going to label them X and Y because I have a length and a width. They're different, but I don't know what they are. So I'm going to say X and I'm going to say Y. Okay? To find the cost for this question, I need to calculate. Well, I have two sides that are going to cost $2 each. So $2 times those two sides, that's 2X. Plus $1 times those two sides, that's 2Y. So I'm basically finding the perimeter and I'm factoring in the cost of each side of the fence. If I simplify that, the cost is equal to 4X plus 2Y. Well, that looks pretty good right there. Problem being, I've got two variables. We need to figure out a way around that. I was told the area is 3,200, so that means that X times Y is 3,200. I'm going to solve for Y. Y would then equal 3,200 divided by X. Now let's sub that into our formula. Cost is equal to 4X plus 2 times 3,200 divided by X. Let's simplify 4X plus 6,400 divided by X. Now, since I want the least cost, that means I'm looking for a minimum. And when do we have a minimum? When the derivative is 0 or DNE and has sign change negative to positive. Since I'm going to be taking the derivative of my cost formula, I want to simplify it even a little bit more. 4X plus 6,400, X to the negative 1. Now we can derive. The derivative of cost is equal to 4 minus 6,400, X to the negative 2. I want to know when my derivative is 0 or DNE, okay? So I'm going to set this equal to 0, and let's see what happens when I solve. I've got 4 is equal to 6,400 over X squared. Now, if I think about this, it's going to be DNE when X is 0. That does not make sense in this word problem. I'm not going to have a length of a rectangle that's a length 0. That doesn't make sense. So I don't have to worry about DNE. So now I just want to solve and see, well, what's going to make this equal to 0? Cross multiply, and let's solve for X. If I divide by 4, then X squared is equal to 1,600, and therefore X is equal to 40. So I think that I'll have minimum cost when X is equal to 40. I'm going to verify with either the first or second derivative test. In this case, I do think the second derivative test will be easier. If I take the second derivative, I get 12,800 X to the negative 3. I'm looking at my first derivative. Derivative 4 is 0, and then I'm just doing power rule here. Negative times a negative 2, that's going to be positive. Now I know that the second derivative is equal to 12,800 over X cubed. If I sub in my answer of 40, I know it's going to be positive. I have a positive number divided by a positive number. That's going to be positive, which means my function is concave up. Therefore, that is a minimum. So we have now verified that X equals 40 is a minimum value for us. Make sure you answer the question. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. If X is 40 feet, then I have to go back and find Y. Well, what do I know? Y is equal to 3,200 divided by X, which is 40. So therefore, Y is equal to 80 feet. So those are your final answers.